Hey guys, it's Beth Goody from Goody Goods, and today I have a really fun video for you. So Becca invited me and a few other YouTube creators on here to take part in a row by row quilt. So each and every one of us, we're all gonna make a row, and at the very end we're gonna put them together and make a magnificent quilt. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is gonna end up when it's all said and done. And if you'd like to follow along on the process, be sure to check the captions below, and I will have all of the participating parties, all of their channels linked so that you can also follow along on their journey and watch it each and every month. So all of the videos are going to be uploaded on the first day of the month. So I was tasked with making a 10.5 by 50.5 inch row. So I kind of thought on it for quite a bit. I was looking through my library to see if I had any blocks that would fit those dimensions, and most of my patterns were 12-inch and up, and so I kind of was like, ooh, what do? I don't know what to do. And I recently finished this quilt. So this quilt inspired me for my row, and let me just show you this real quick. This is my pixel quilt. It was a joint effort amongst 3 quilting hives, 3 quilting bees, and so a whole bunch of people made these blocks and sent them to me, and I sewed them together, quilted it, bound it, and now it's like my most favorite quilt ever. So this pattern is actually from Sushi Farmer on Instagram. Her pattern calls for 2.5-inch squares, and that just was not mathing for what I needed to make for this row. So I cut my squares into 2-inch squares and pieced them together for this fun row by row quilt. So I'm gonna show you how I went from this, laying out my blocks on my project boards. I will also link down below where I got my project boards from. I absolutely love them. So I took this and laid them out and kind of put it to where I liked it, according to the pattern, and then I made this, which is called a web, or the technique is webbing, and this was really my first time doing this technique, and I found it very helpful for keeping everything organized, especially when it came to like placement and then ironing and making sure that all of my seams nested really well. So I'm going to show you how I did this, and we're gonna piece together this block. All right, so I'm gonna take these first 2 and sew them together like I normally would. And then I'm just gonna start chain sewing all the way down. And there is my chain. So I'm gonna open this one up, and then I'm going to take my next one from my project board, and I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to sew, chain sewing all the way down that row. So now we have added on our 3rd column. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to open them up like this and then add the next one onto this piece without breaking our thread. You can already see the web kind of building. Isn't it just so fun? So fun. All right, let's sew the rest of these on real quick, and then we'll get to pressing. So we have now 2 webs to press, nest together, sew together, and then we will put together our entire row, measure it, and see what I have to add to the top or bottom to make it the proper height. I'm gonna get my flatter spray ready to go, and I'm gonna start nesting these. So the pressing is very nice because it keeps it organized, but I have noticed that sometimes it's hard to kind of get in there, especially if you have a short chain, to make sure that you're not like pressing 2 rows at a time if you have a big iron. So if you have a mini iron, it'd be a great time to pull that out and use it on this. If you press open, you know, you could flip this on its back side and just press open. I nest my seams, so I'm going to press from the front and kind of get them all going one direction on that first row, and then now I'm going to flip it over and do it again, going that way. Now we have 2 of these really perfectly pressed, super flat blocks, and now we are just going to continue sewing them, and then we'll press them, and then they'll be all done. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this over, and then I'm going to sew it, and then I'm going to fold it over and sew it, fold it over and sew it as I go down, and everything is still connected. It's super, super easy. All right, let's go. And just like that, we have all 5 of our blocks all done. So let's look at them real quick before we put them together. I just am really loving the fabrics together. There's Gingerbread, there's Moda, there's Tulip Pink, there's Allison Glass, there's Juicy Juice. So I think it's going to be a really fun, scrappy moment. There's some Ruby Star Strawberries, Rifle Paper Co., a whole bunch of everything. So I'm going to figure out how I want them laid out in my row, and then we're going to sew together the row, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, so here is our row. I'll back up so you can see the effect of the block. It's just such a great pattern, and when you make it a whole quilt, you kind of have that secondary pattern of it coming and completing like a diamond shape. But I think for this just single row, it is still really, really cool. It's now at the perfect width, and now we just need to add on to one of the top or bottom sides about 1.5 inches to get it to that 10.5 unfinished size. So look at that. It looks amazing. Let's cut our fabric and sew it, and then we'll be done. We finished our row for the row by row quilt. I hope you were able to learn something new today with the webbing technique. If you've never seen it or heard of it before, I would love for you to try it and let me know how it works for you. I think it made this a lot easier and quicker to put together, and I had a lot less mistakes than I would have if I had done it the original way that I do it, which is just kind of a mess. But anyway, it's beautiful! I love it, and it measures out perfectly. So if you would like to follow along on the process and the progress of this row by row quilt, make sure to check out my caption below. I will have all of the channels participating linked so that you can go over to their channels, subscribe to them, hit that thumbs up, and make sure you have the notification bell on so that when they upload their videos on the 1st of the month, every month, you're going to be able to watch it and see this quilt come to life. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure that you hit that button, like this video, and head over to the comment section and let me know if you love scrappy quilts. And if you do, what is your favorite scrap friendly quilt pattern? I would love to hear it, because my resolution this year is to use more of my stash and my scraps and buy less. And I think that when I do that, beautiful things happen. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!